Yo, it's your brother Yafeuh Balogun back at you one more time with real talk, real conversation, real issues we discussing here. We look, y'all. We done discuss politics, discuss revolution. We done discuss culture. We got everything you want right here. You know what I'm saying? Now we discussing celebrity worship and the personality syndrome. What is this? The cult of personality syndrome. Yeah, I had to
Forgot all
read.
those
I had to look at that, man. I had to look at that and try to make sure I heard that right. And of course, we got the great chairman Erick Khafre with us one more time, and we glad to have him. He's a very busy man, but when we can get him, we get him. You know what I'm saying? We might have CBG that join us here in a second. Not sure, but without a further ado, how you doing today, sir?
Pretty tired, but I'm good.
Hey, I can dig it. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's this thing that you talking about celebrity worship? I mean,
Hey, it's your show.
what's wrong? What's wrong with Cardi B, brother? What's
what Ralph Abernathy say in Alabama? This show is your show. Nah, but what you say?
Krishan and Blueface, bro?
I don't know, man. I can't tell you, man. It's hard to keep up with all this shit. It's a full-time job to keep up with all this celebrity shit. Oh my God. But yeah.
Y'all gotta forgive his son in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's code of personality. This time both in code of personality and celebrity worship. They go hand in hand, and more people doing than more people are involved in their process than they think they are. You think you're just looking at something from the sideline because it's entertaining, but some of this stuff not even entertaining to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people could give give a damn about who's sleeping with who caught who in the room, or who stole who jokes, or is Will and Jada relationship good? Some people don't give a damn about that because they don't have no dealings on the outcome of what they like to, the outcome of their life. It doesn't matter to them, but a lot of people involved in it. But just to put the political understanding on things, because everything is politics. Everything is universal truth, but inside universal truth, the dealings of man in a material sense is politics.
Right.
And you may think it's just something that you just looking at and they cool, they not. Nah, it's politics and and stuff like that. And so, people may not understand that aspect, but yeah, it's definitely politics. It's political.
Yeah. What I was gonna ask you, man, are you? So I know a lot of people tend to allow celebrities to be placed in leadership over politics, be able to make political decisions or political influence. Do you follow that line that celebrities do have the capacity to do that, or what you think about that?
Well, when we discuss things, when I'm talking to the average person, or we doing political education, everything goes back to the political education. People used to get tired of GMF saying this and Malcolm X, Roots movement, and all the other movements we are part of. They got sick of hearing that, but it's the honest truth, and nobody can tell me that it's not. The thing is that during slavery, because we always I refer back to the enslavement process when I'm talking about things. The enslavement process. I had a good talk with one of my Uber drivers today. He was a brother from Nigeria. And he said he liked the word slave, and I mentioned the Yugoslavian people who was original slave, and he was like, "Yes, brother, that's right, the Slavic people." But anyway, to show love to him, I ain't gonna say the word slave exactly, but during the chattel enslavement process of African people, that wasn't just cotton picking. You have people that think that grown folk and kids, but the kids is understandable, but you got grown folk who think that All slavery was cotton picking, motherfuckers trying to run away, get whipped. And okay, master, I won't do it again. And babies being taken and shit like that. They haven't researched and studied, did their due diligence to understand slavery, the enslavement process of chattel slavery from those who were from the European communities who came here to make their own conquest and their own empire. They don't understand that life, the structure that they had then is the same structure we have now. It just doesn't seem like it because we have a lot of up-to-date shit, but it's the same thing. My case in point is you had breeding forms. I won't even go into this shit. That's the most horrific shit you could ever think about, breeding forms, where they were breeding young African girls as young as age fucking 13 in breeding forms. That was a part of this. But they had all kind of slaves. They had the energy, the blacks, not energy, the blacksmiths. They had people who cooks, who do hospitality care. They had people who take care of the babies, the nannies and things of that nature. Then you had the other people out on the field. Some was doing cotton, some was doing other things. But one slave that nobody ever talks about this day that they had, these are actual slave titles. Go back and research it. Don't take it on my face value. But look, is an entertainment slave. Did you know there was a such thing as an entertainment slave? Yes. Oh, what is an entertainment slave? Is that just somebody who go in front of white folks and say, oh, yes, sir, Bowser, look at me. I'm doing so good. They're hipping and hopping around. No. An entertainment slave was a musician, a motherfucker that could play the piano, a motherfucker that could sing, and probably rap too. You see what I'm saying? Oh, and one that were revealing clothes that's not revealing clothes is, of course, there's not any coverage on them, and they're dancing around. We know we call that in the modern day, don't we? So entertainment slave ain't no more different than what we have today. This for the people that think the enslavement process, the enslavement process to advance capitalism and imperialism, just so people think it's not over with. These entertainment slaves, they just like the people we got today. Okay. So me being saying that, Malcolm X did an interview a long time ago. And they was talking about, they asking him why he didn't agree with all the, well, your guys, y'all don't believe in integration and begging, white folks does and so. But I mean, you have prestigious blacks who believe this, not just Martin Luther King. You have Lita Horne, you have Lou Armstrong, you have Joe Louis, you have all these great African Americans and what they say Negroes then. All these great Negroes, and today you call them African American. You have all these great people. Why do you disagree with them? And Malcolm X said, look, man, where in Europeans' world do they rely on entertainers to represent their politics? Where? Nowhere. So he was saying all these people that you just named, these people are musicians and actors and shit. He said they just out for the dollar. They using their own creativity and talent and getting something from it, from the European or the white power structure. So what the hell they got? They don't know a goddamn asshole from a beer bottle. They don't know shit. So why are you asking me, do I agree with them? What I'm telling you is historical based. I'm giving a historical analysis. You're telling me what some damn entertainers said. Of course they agree with all this shit because they getting money. They get to live lavish and shit, even though they still got to go through the fucking back door. You know what I'm saying? So Malcolm point comes from then, it's like Sankofa, the symbol of West African symbol of Sankofa. Go back and fetch it. You go back and get what Malcolm said, and you bring it today. So do I feel that? No. Entertainers and athletes and none of these people in this field can represent us unless they have thorough political education and historical analysis. If they don't have that, they can't represent it. I don't give a damn how much you like them. I don't give a damn how much their album they sold. I don't give a damn if they're exposing Illuminati or whatever you think it's called. I don't give a damn what they're doing. None of them are qualified to speak for the African working class because they don't have a historical analysis. History is everything. History is just not a bunch of black and white films with slaves and bus drive, kid in the front, back of the bus, and old pictures with old, wardrobes and shit. History is everything that has ever happened in existence. So when you have a historical analysis, does that mean you know everything? Hell no. That's why we have these discussions. That's why we have our experience, right? Because where do correct ideas come from? Correct ideas come from practice. So you talking about historical analysis, and most of these people do not have that. They just regurgitate what their slave master or the one that enslaved them, who premise they living on. They only gonna do what they say.
Wow. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. 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 CBG, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure you was out. I thought you was taking a nap. Yeah. So, Erick Khafre, talking about celebrity worship and then the personality syndrome, and we just really just talking about. And I know you kind of keep up with some of this information. Uh, and I don't know if you have some your thoughts to share on celebrity worship and the cult of personality syndrome. That's what we called it. You know, that means essentially how a lot of celebrities have a lot of influence over folks. And you know, if you can kind of share your thoughts on the influence of celebrities on an individual personal life, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, so to speak. At least your thoughts.
I mean, I have no opinion on it. I do understand my brother Khafre, he's giving us the fiddler syndrome where you remember in the movie Roots you had Fiddler that went out there and played his fiddle for Master and
Mm-hmm.
he
Right.
kept everybody entertained. So I do understand that portion and in today's time we have people who venerates Fiddler, but they've always venerated Fiddler even when we go back to if we go back to European uh, customs where we go to the plays of Shakespeare and those
Mm-hmm.
different things, people
Right.
venerated those actors. When you go back to the Roman gladiators, people
Yeah.
venerated gladiators and gladiators were slaves,
Right. That's a good
so
point.
people have always looked to what we call pop culture icons for
Mm-hmm.
guidance and to set the trend of the culture, no matter if that person was a slave or a free man. It's just the way of the world.
And I got another question for you, CBG. Why you in CBG today?
Nah, I just thought it'd be funny, Just come in. This is not CBG. You know what I'm saying?
He in CBG today, y'all. And if you follow
That's
along,
funny.
he mostly come in as country black guy is what he come in. So I see today he in CBG today. So I had to ask that
I
question.
got a buddy, his Twitter profile name is Soap. And he he was going at it with some guy with NFTs. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with NFTs, non-fungible
Yeah.
tokens. And
Mm-hmm.
the guy blocked his page called Soap. So he had a backup page called Not Soap. And then the guy blocked that one. And then he had a third backup page called Definitely Not Soap. It was
Oh
hilarious to
man.
me.
Damn, that's funny. Damn, that's funny.
Uh,
Damn, that's funny.
Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all this question. Now, over the last, well, I want to talk about two issues, uh, and I know some are gonna be stronger on this topic than others, but on this topic of P Diddy, TD Jakes, the parties that's been going on, allegedly, all this allegedly, and I saw a video of what's that? Odell Beckham Jr. and I forget the pop artist. I forget his name. But anyway, what we went from Odell Beckham. I mean, we went from P Diddy. Now we at what's this? Cat Williams.
Chad Williams, yeah.
So what y'all make of all this? This was just last week, and now I guess P Diddy and TD Jakes off the hook. So what do y'all think about that transition?
Well, TD
Yeah.
Jakes and Cat Williams, I don't think will never own the hook. The hook is prison time. I don't think they were ever in jeopardy of serving a prison sentence.
Okay.
They're just fulfilling their duties as entertainment, you
Yeah.
know, and they're entertaining the mob, no matter if it's, you know, to their detriment, or if
Mm.
they're talking about something good that they're doing for the community. It's all entertainment, you know.
Have you ever swallowed? What did he say? I forgot.
I've been on Soldier Boy all day. Soldier Boy say he about to crash out. What do you say? Let's meet up and die. You know, which is a
Oh
wild
man.
thing to say from a millionaire. You know, he
Right.
willing to throw it all away, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just off of internet disagreement. But I
Yeah.
mean, nobody's gonna meet up and die. That's just entertainment. I don't, you know,
Mm.
this is they're not gonna meet up and fight or shoot out or anything of that nature. This is just entertainment to keep you entertained, to keep you watching these platforms, so that sponsors and
Mm-hmm.
people of that nature can generate their ads and get you to buy
Capitalism.
their products. And
Capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just
Capitalism.
capitalism, man. You know, I'm here for it.
Should should
They
should
Kroger
should.
like this shit.
Well, let me ask you this question then. CBG, not CBG today. Uh, should we break away from it, or should we just go along with it?
I mean, it's we. I don't move as a conglomerate, my brother.
I'm saying you.
Yeah.
I'm saying you as okay. You as an independent. You as an
Me
individual.
as an individual, I have a very high intense job that I do. My career is intense. So when I get away from work, I want to decompress with something that means absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's great entertainment for me. I take it for what it is. It's entertainment. I'm not gonna listen to Soldier Boy say, "Let's meet up and die," and then call one of my ops and say, "Let's meet up and die." You know that it's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen like that. You know, I
Mm.
understand what this is, and it's strictly entertainment, brother.
So let me see. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you're a middle aged man. Would you agree with that?
I will agree with that.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
So you letting this man call you old? But
I
go ahead.
am. I
I said
am.
middle age. I said middle
I'm
age.
middle
Man,
aged.
Hey,
he's still in his. I ain't gonna say it.
now
Yeah.
look. See what you got to understand about Soga is
Middle age is 55. Y'all didn't know this. So ain't 55.
he's a conservative guy. So you know how they
I'm
look at
a
that.
look. I'm a married man. I've been married for like I say 17 years. I got two children. You know, I got one in high school. I got a 4-year old. You know, I feel like an old man. You know,
See, there you go. There you go.
I get
So
out there on my lawnmower. I mow my yard. You know, and I weed eat and I chop wood. You know, I build a fire for my family every morning. You know, I'm an old man.
so it's safe. So it's safe to say this is just me, just based upon everything you just stated. It's safe to say that you have the ability, if you will, uh, to sift through the BS. You know, a vet, I should say. That's probably a better word to use.
Well, it's
Yeah.
all BS. I mean, even like if
Well,
you
well,
take
let me make my point. Let me make my point though. So you got the ability to vet it. You know that you don't need to go crash out. You say because I think you just stated that essentially. But I guess my question to Eric then CBG, since you know how to vet it out, is it okay for youth that still has that impressionable mind, uh, particularly listen to folks like King Von, folks like that? Do you think they should break away? Uh, and if so, how should they break away?
Who you asking this to?
You or any
Oh,
either one of y'all?
well, yeah. The thing is this, and the people talk a lot about the. I'm going back to the enslavement process. People hate that, but I'm a realistic person. I like to go back to where the shit. When you got, where you ever, if you a boxer and you got punched in the mouth 12 times in a fight by a fucking jab, I'm the guy, the trainer that's work on not to get fucking punched 12 times. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna want to talk about that because you got, you may have lost the fight, you ain't undefeated no more. Oh, coach, that's not talking about that. I'm the kind that want to talk about the shit you don't. The thing is that, people talking about, oh man, I'm sick of slave movies and got motherfuckers like Snoop Dogg and other people who ain't produced and wrote a goddamn thing. Oh, I'm tired of seeing films about slaves and sit on the bus and civil rights and we tired of seeing that shit, right? And everybody agree with that. And I'm not saying it's one way or the other, right, or what I feel about it. But the thing is, we have this analysis about or opinion about what happened back then. But this is the honest truth here. Okay, the Reconstruction or the post-chattel slavery era. Notice I put the chattel in there. The other part still exists. The post-chattel slavery and the Reconstruction era. You know what we got out of that era? We got 20, let's see, 20, oh, it's one. No, it ain't just one. It's Tulsa, right? No. What about Florida? Rosewood? No. We had people talking about one Black Wall Street all the time in Tulsa, Oklahoma. No, we had 24 Black Wall Streets. And that's just according to me. I'm a young guy. I ain't gonna claim to be old like so. I'm a young guy. So I'm just saying 24. It could have been more than that. But with my research, is the 24 Black Wall Streets. We had 24 Black Wall Street. We had our own printing press. Oh, in our printing presses, they produced things that were relevant to our community because back then you didn't have all this shit. Okay, we had all this. Okay, we had hospitals. We had all this. You know what's going on here. So we had 24 Black Wall Streets. We had the father of what people call Black History Month. Even though we say that they gave us the shortest month of the year, but they didn't gave us nothing because Carter G. Woodson, a great scholar, gave us this. It was founded as Black History Week. You talking about somebody who didn't even go to high school until he was 19 because he was working in the coal mines, but still he was one of the greatest scholars we ever seen. Not only did he write Miseducation of the Negro, which a lot of people think it been put into a book, so we read that book. But that was actually articles that Carter G. Woodson wrote that was turned into a book. But before he had Miseducation of the Negro, he had the Education of the Negro. You understand? So you had people like him, Carter G. Woodson, the founder of Black History Month, which a lot of people misconstrue today for what it really is, but they still practice it. You had people like Frederick Douglass fighting abolition, which is the fighting of the oppression and enslavement of other people. You had Sojourner Truth. You had Ida B. Wells, one of the greatest journalists, even all the way up to today, one of the greatest journalists ever. You had Ida B. Wells. Okay, you produced W.B.B. Du Bois, if not one of the greatest intellectuals of all time. Okay, out of that you had Marcus Garvey. Okay, out of that you had all these people that were young people, right, making a great contribution to our community, right? And I'm saying that we talk all this shit about what happened back then, but we can't produce them kind of people right now. So what dynamic has changed? What has changed in the politics? Where the youth are so dumbed down that all they can do is look at some quick snippet that ain't talking about a goddamn thing. It's just a bunch of entertainment. It ain't gonna build you no 24 Black Wall Street. It ain't gonna build you nothing. It's just you just stuck on it. Oh, you can't even have a goddamn conversation. A lot of these youth, man, they can't even have a conversation with you. They answer with one word each time. How did you like today? Good. How's the food? Good. Oh, did you go over your grandma's house? No. They can't even fucking say a goddamn sentence. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying that this society to go to the politics of it. That's just the personal aspect of it. But the reason those people I'm talking about that was producing out in the Reconstruction, the post-slavery era, that started when they was 12 and 19 and shit like that. Even Lorenzo Campbell Urban said, what age did he tell me and you he started organizing? He said age 14. Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. Y'all see the movie Juice of the Black Messiah for those who deal with the entertainment aspect, who don't study. Okay. Okay, the guy that Daniel Kaluuya played, that's Chairman Fred Hampton Sr., who was assassinated in 1969. Okay, he started organizing the same age, 14, 15 years old. Organized, these were leaders as teenagers. Leaders. Not no goddamn wicked, just following the crowd, robotism. That's why a lot of the young folks today, you probably never heard it, but some of the young folks who think that they're more independent minded, they call all the other young ones bots. They say, oh, you a bot. You a bot. They saying it because that means you just do whatever everybody else do. You see what I'm saying? But the politics of this shit, it's the politics of this. It's the sabotaging of our personal and collective growth. Okay? So that's the thing that's going on. And so when you think about entertainment, you think about the Zionist Jews who have control over the entertainment. I don't give a goddamn if you got the own Oprah network, which I believe she just sold that. Even though you got Oprah network and you got the BET network and all these goddamn networks with these black people face on it, regardless of what you have, it's other people controlling those networks. They're controlling the politics of those networks, what's being pushed and what's being pushed out. Therefore, they're controlling the minds of the young people. You see what I'm saying? So they're not in control of how they looking at things. They just being, like they say, bots. They just walking around doing what they see other people do, right? Because it ain't nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing entertaining about being productive, right? Even though productive get your ass land, housing, food, clothes, and shelter. All right, following a whole bunch of motherfuckers on, so that don't get you. You see what I'm saying? So it's the politics of it. It's people controlling what our people push to our people, and that's and the culture is and the environment is controlling how young people act to it. So based off that, you make your own analysis of where we should, where how that should. You see what I'm saying? How that should look.
Right on.
And I could have named 200 more people from the post-chattel slavery Reconstruction era at that. I could have named 200 or 300 more people that actually that did productive things in the community that was in the teenage years. They, even though the people I named, you think about them as a 40, 50-year-old man or woman, but they all started as a young person. Like I say, the foundation of the education of the Negro, Carter G. Woodson started taking those stories from those elders. He started taking those profiles and stories when he was working in the coal mine at age 18, 19.
Brother Yafeuh,
Go ahead.
do your children play console games?
No.
Okay, okay. What about you, brother Khafre?
Mm-mm.
Okay, okay.
He will, but he ain't really into that like that.
Cause my next question was gonna be, would y'all let y'all children play Grand Theft Auto?
My answer is no.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'll elaborate. I'll go on some more. I grew up, in a real strict household. You know, my my dad said the only music we could listen to was gospel music. That was all we was allowed to listen to.
Yeah, I know some households like that.
I had a BG CD one time. He threw it out the window. I got a beating for it, boy. You
Ooh,
know,
man.
and but I grew up on the slick listening to that Bone Thugs and Harmony, that Mo Murder
Yeah.
and all that.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
was and I liked the Mr. Ouija song where they was conjuring the Ouija
Mm-hmm.
board and all that.
Right, yeah, yeah.
But as a young impressionable kid, I didn't grow up to become a murderer. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
of it got to do with your upbringing and the values that your parents instill in you too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We all grew up on that same thing. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if I heard my daughter listening to some of the music I used to listen to, I'd be scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd feel some type of way about it because I listened to some real crazy stuff.
yeah,
However, it didn't affect me, as a person. I never
yeah,
wanted to become a serial killer because I was listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of times historically that doesn't necessarily happen, but these days, man, some of these young people, and I know I deal with young people like personally, and I'm talking about young people from the smartest to the what we would call the dumbest or the craziest. And so and a lot of them, but these youngsters these days, they are a little bit more influenced personally by this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, we'll hear some shit go do. We still go to school, get our A, B's, and C's or whatever. Or if you couldn't do the C's or whatever, whatnot. But we still go to class and do our work and do what we do. We weren't looking to necessarily fight or shoot. We may have got involved in there, but we weren't necessarily looking for it. But this generation, some of them, some of them are a little bit more influenced personally by this than past generation. I don't know what's in the Kool-Aid or the honey bunches of O's, but they are a little bit more influenced. And they'll actually tell you this. This ain't nothing I'm just saying. They actually tell you, like, yeah, my homeboy said, what I'm saying, they wanted to go and do what you call did and this, that, and the third. Like they want to be him. Like it's interesting, you know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying too.
Already, already.
Yafeuh, do you listen to rap music?
He be asking open-ended questions, don't he, Eric? Do you?
I got open
Yeah,
ended. Yes or no? Do you listen to rap music?
do you not
Nah,
tell me like you listen to? No, I'm joking.
I listen to
Yeah,
all
he listen
kinds of.
to it. He
I listen.
black.
I,
Look at him.
I
Do you
listen to all
listen to
kinds.
that gangster rap?
I don't think they really have as much gangster rap. I think what we probably talking about is a different genre called drill rap, but
Do you listen to that?
I have before.
Do you allow
But
your
keep,
children to listen
but
to you?
no, but keep in mind, just hear this out. Just hear me out. I think the concern is that we old enough to try to vet a lot of this info. I think that's kind of the feel I got from what you stated just a moment or two ago. That you know the difference when you hear the music, and you may even memorize some of the words, but
Hmm.
you know not to CBG. You know not to go out in the streets and
Try to be something that you
yeah,
ain't. Yeah.
try to be like GTA 6 or GTA 5 or something. You know the difference. Whereas I think this is just my opinion. I think the youth, um, has some challenges to overcome,
Hmm. Hmm.
especially if the situation. It's not exactly how it was. I mean, I know we try to compare ourselves to this
Hmm.
generation, but
Right. Right.
I think we're in a different world entirely. They have a lot more things that are more
Right.
sensory drawing and attractive
Hmm.
with all these technologies that they have to be influencing them away from what we think is valuable, especially those of us who consider ourselves to be in the revolutionary spirit and the revolutionary mind. um yeah, I like the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, um for whatever it's worth, because it at least brings the story of Chairman Fred in a more compact version to folks who probably wouldn't have even heard of Chairman Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Chairman Fred Hampton? The movie Judas and the Black Messiah, MBG.
I saw the movie, brother.
Okay, brother.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Funny, bro.
yeah. Man, look. So I want to say we. So should we be breaking away, or should we? I mean, in closing, should we be breaking away, or should we just kind of accept the way things are and just kind of deal with it? I know CBG has his philosophy. He kind of uses as an ability to a tool to make sure that he can decompress. But should we be
Hmm.
breaking away from it, or should we just accept it how things are?
Yeah.
let,
Now
let,
I'm.
let me expound one more time, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
That was a song that came out. It was called "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio.
Hmm.
Now, what year did that come out? Can you tell me the year real quick?
96.
96. All right. So I was 10 years old when that came out. That was the first tape I ever bought. Was Coolio "Gangsta's Paradise," and I loved that song. My mama took me to the store behind my daddy back, and I got that right out the Sam Goody. I had the single on tape.
Sam Goody. Oh, he knows Sam Goody. Yeah, he definitely went and got that.
Now I listened to that song over and over, and I never want to be a gangster in paradise like Coolio. And I didn't because I honestly feared my father. I thought he would kill me, literally. Now, I think we've gotten away from a male force in households that keeps the balance. You have mothers in households who are supposed to be the soft hand and who are supposed to nurture the child. But you should also have a male figure that is the disciplinarian and is the strong arm of justice and discipline within your household. Now, some households say they have both with it. You know, they may have just a mother or just a father that's supposed to represent both. But I am willing to say that you can't have both within one person. That creates confusion within a child. If a child on one hand you love him and on the next hand you beat him, then you know the child that will confuse the child. You know, I think that should be separated, compartmentalized within two separate beings. That you know, when a mama say, "I'm gonna tell your daddy," what that means. Now, we if we're gonna put everybody in a box and put everybody together, I say that we have gotten away from that sentence. I'm gonna tell your daddy. It don't hit like it used to because the dad is may be off somewhere, or the mama might be beefing with the dad and not letting the daddy in the baby's life, or whatever situation's going on, that's keeping the father from being the father that we had. We don't have that anymore. And me personally, I feel that that's what's going on within the black community, within our youth. It don't matter what you listen to or what you watch. If you had a daddy, it wouldn't matter. That's my contribution to E5, brother.
Man, this guy here, man.
I say yo.
I know. Right, right, right. That shit. Yeah, that's not.
Let's see here. Get any thoughts on that, Chairman Eric?
Oh, yeah. Oh, not on what Soga said. I mean, hey, he told it from the black father's perspective, and hey, yeah, certain principles, certain family, and principles and values do go a long way. Unfortunately, we don't have. Unfortunately, is that you know, a lot of our households don't either have. They're not in a position to, like he said, either be in that position to say, "I'm gonna tell your daddy" or whoever, you feel the authority, or we are so influenced that we're too weak to to carry on a certain kind of values or culture that we used to have, as far as what he said. And so that's unfortunately, people not, as strong as him and continue to value and do it the way he sees fit to do it. A lot of people are not that strong, stop that. And so, yeah, but yeah, so I forgot the original. Oh, you meant you said this, should we break away from it? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, of course we should break away from it. We shouldn't just leave it as it is, because the thing is, a lot of people now, they proud for, they go on the city bus, right? And they pay the little money, put in the thing or swipe with the card. They get on the bus, they sit down wherever they want to sit, and so, but if somebody came on there and said, yeah, you at the Oak Cliff stop, you gotta sit in the back so the North Dallas people can sit up here. A nigga lose their damn mind. Nigga, what? What the fuck? Man, the bus ain't gonna even get to move. Cause the first person you tell that, you ain't gotta tell 100 people this. The first person you tell, they gonna be what? They gonna be talking about whipping your ass first. Then they gonna be talking about soon the bus comes, the transit, all these sort of things. And I'm saying that to say that the reason people can think like that now is because somebody stood up in the first place. And I'm saying in life, if you just let things roll, you let things just go the way they are, you find yourself not knowing your place in the world. Right? It's an African proverb to say, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. See what I'm saying? So if you don't know where you're going, how the hell can any road take you there? What the hell is there? Well, a lot of us don't know what the hell there is. They just following and say, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I say, go look at this Cat Williams. Yeah, I go say, look. And this ain't nothing to trip on Cat Williams, right? Because I don't want our box, our community box, but you hate you. If you say something about somebody rich and famous, you hate. It don't matter, what they value is. They can have low self-esteem and all that shit. And actually shows presented some actual facts to some people, that people in high places who have positions and money, some of them actually do have low self-esteem. But of course, when you are encouraged when you live in a following society, you don't think that, right? You think that a person with stature is made, right? They're successful. They're this, they're that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know that these motherfuckers suffer some low self-esteem. That's why they do any goddamn thing to be seen on television. See what I'm saying? See, some of us ain't gonna be on no television. We already been on television. We on documentaries. And we've been on the news and shit. But I'm talking about actually like movies and on stage in front of millions of people. Some of us ain't never gonna do that shit. Not because we ain't talented. You know, I used to rap. I used to do music, and people were feeling my shit. Like a lot of people, like, man, you that guy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that, but a lot of people thought that. I was, you know what I'm saying? We almost, you know, we were this close to being signed. We rap a lot, me and my brother, but. Like, so I know about some talented shit. I got some movie scripts written right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but some of us ain't gonna never be in that arena, man, because we ain't gonna sell out enough. We're not selling out. That's one of the most overused words. Some people ain't sold out because they never bought into this shit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, some of us ain't gonna never do it because we not no followers like that. We got our own principles and values that we understand is success in life, right? Not what the slave master said success. That's what everybody, including conscious folk, people who think they ass is conscious, and black nationalists and black powerists and all this other shit, they ass look at success the same way that they white devil slave master ass do. The reason we know it because they everybody, you know, paying attention to the Cat Williams thing. Yeah, he exposed these jokes. Now everybody going back to see if they can find if a motherfucker stole a joke or not. See what I'm saying? But look here, look at it. Not only GML, but I'm speaking for GML. I can speak for other groups too, but I let some of them do that. We've been teaching political education for how goddamn long, 15 some years, teaching political education. And when we tell a motherfucker to go back and research primitive accumulation, right? Go back and look at different economic structures. Go back and look at how capitalism came to shape, form, and how it affects all different aspects of life. You know, what's going on in the Congo for Congo Week in October. You know, what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? The sabotaging of youth leadership in certain parts of Africa. Look at the Caribbean. Look what's going on there. When we have told them all that shit, go research Thomas Sankara. You see what I'm saying? Go read on some of the books of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. You know, Black Liberation or Republic of New Africa. Go check that out. Well, hey, look at it. When we done told them this shit for 15 years, they ain't went and not studied out one goddamn thing. They come back to political education 15 years later, still don't know what this shit means. But look here, Cat Williams say, yeah, I saw Jigga Jew and such and such walking out of the room, and back in 1992, Steve Harvey told a joke from Lil Ray Ray, and Lil Ray Ray never got no money. Now motherfuckers going online looking at shit, going to look and see if they can find a joke of Ray Ray that a nigga stole. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Yeah, this kind of stuff. I ain't saying nothing wrong with it, right? It's not a right or wrong thing. It's not that, but I'm saying that we have to start breaking away from things. And I'm not saying on the individual basis. You see how like Sober was saying, like he decompressed. We all do that shit. I follow shit. I'm a sports guy. I look at sports all the time. So we all have those decompressed moments where we tap into stuff. But it shouldn't be as much influence over our whole culture, right? Like I say, 15 years of political education, and you didn't go back and study not one goddamn term, but a goddamn comedian can come and tell you that somebody stole a joke, because I don't give a damn what jokes they stole. I ain't getting paid from the motherfucking jokes, so I don't give a goddamn what they did. You know, but it's just the fact that people had so many expectations of these people. All the people that Cat Williams mentioned, like, I could have told you that shit drunk in my sleep. I'm talking about drunk and in my sleep at the same time, and you just abruptly wake me up. I could have told you that all these people did this shit. This is not nothing new. This is part of the matrix. This is part of the, this is part of the design of the capitalist corporate elite. This ain't nothing that's, oh my God, Chris Tucker's on Epstein Island. What the fuck? What do you think these people are? Look here, in order to even be in this position. See, that's why, and the biggest thing we told people we not told people, but encouraged them to do in political education is to have a historical analysis. You know why? Check this out. In the 1950s, I say the 50s. You remember King? You remember Amos and Andy with Kingfish and shit? You probably don't, you know that. You know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
show.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, hey, I watch that shit all the time. That's
Yeah,
all they
yeah.
show.
My dad used to
Look
watch
at
his little boy. He used to watch his little boy.
look here. You know the NAACP and shit. You know they protested that after its fifth season, it didn't come on no more because the NAACP made a protest of it, saying it discredited the images of black men and things of that nature. And then you had a documentary in the 1960s that Bill Cosby was on. It's real good too. It talking about some of the history of entertainment and things of that nature. And one of the first people that Bill Cosby mentioned was Lincoln Perry. You know who Lincoln Perry is? Step and Fetch It. You ever served Step and Fetch It?
Right.
Step and Fetch It. Oh yes, sir. Did I do that? You know, he played a character back in the day called Lazy Richard. Lazy Richard didn't want to do shit. You asked that motherfucker to mow the yard, he'd be like, oh, well, I was gonna take a shower. So he give a motherfucker an excuse why he couldn't do it. But look here, Lincoln Perry was the first millionaire actor, as far as what I've researched. He's the first black millionaire actor, Lincoln Perry. You say, how the hell can a nigga talking like he don't know how to talk in the 1930s make $1 million? Oh, I want somebody to think about that. This nigga run around, yes, sir, talking all crazy, and ain't like he wasn't he has a smart, and his son was a black, his son was a black nationalist. That's interesting. I don't know how the hell that happened. Which the characters he portrayed it didn't really show for who his personality was. You know what I'm saying? All in together. But Bill Cosby was talking about how this also depicted black men in a negative light and this and that and the third. And I'm saying that Lincoln Perry made that millions of dollars doing Step and Fetch and Lazy Richard and all those people because the powers that be, right, the ones that's influencing that, they wanted him to be seen. Same goddamn thing with Chris Tucker. Same damn thing with Steve Harvey and all the rest of them. The reason you see them all the time is because the folks in the entertainment industry who is a cohort of dominant white power. They want you to see them, right? They want you to see these people for a reason. It ain't like I heard people all the time talking about, oh, I like it. He's such a good person. Good this, good that, good that. People, when we were younger, people were so in love with the Clintons and shit. The Clintons done stole so many goddamn resources out of Haiti, it ain't fucking funny. But we love him so much, Bill Clinton, because he smoked weed and got some head. We in love with the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And so the same thing with the Step and Fetch syndrome. The reason I brought up Lincoln Perry is to say, look, the same damn thing they was doing back then, they doing now. An entertainer is a fucking entertainer. It don't change. The structure of capitalism, imperialism do not change. The code of personality, not only do we need to break away from it in entertainment, we need to break from the code of personality in the movement. See? It started in the movement. See, the reason I know all these conscious jokers, they in love with this shit too. Whoever Cat Williams pulled a figure at, you hate them now, right? When just 2 months ago, you was in love with all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? You was in love with all of them until he said some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you in love with him. Gee, but look here. But we don't. See, when you a person that used to, you don't take nothing from a second rater like John Henry Clark used to say about Marcus Garvey. He didn't take nothing from a second rater, meaning everything was in question. You want to question why Cat Williams is saying this shit. What's his motivation? Oh no, he a real nigga. He a real nigga. He just telling it how it is. But he got a motivation too. Me and you may not know it, but he got every goddamn thing is politics. It's universal truth, and under that is the politics. The politics of the material world. That's what exists. He got a motivation just like the people he talking about had a goddamn motivation. You see what I'm saying? And individuals are going to always have a motivation. See what I'm saying? And even though we like to think that we're good, righteous guys, the thing is this. You can never put all your faith in one person. I don't give a goddamn total. You see what I'm saying? Not your total faith. Everything in existence is in question. We gotta break away. The movement, that's how I know the country's supposed to, because they involved in cult personality in the movement. You got YouTube folks. Yeah, shh, calm down. Look, you got YouTube scholars that know every goddamn thing. They know more about the revolutionary than revolution than the revolutionary. They know about more about Ephod than the priest. They know more about building a nation than the people who done built the damn nation. They know all this shit just because they done went back and studied the research. So now they some damn now they the foremost author on a particular subject. But what I said when we first started this, where the correct ideas come from? Correct ideas come from practice. If that shit ain't in practice, it don't exist. If it ain't in practice, it don't exist. You see what I'm saying? If you just talking about it, you just talking about this shit. So the code of personality in the movement and the code of personality in our lives, period. We got to break away from it because it's going to be a hindrance. It's going to be a hindrance on what we do. We already seen that that's what it's done. What?
Well, somebody,
Yeah.
well, this man here, somebody need to get some water and spray this man because this man been on fire for like 15 minutes, just going out.
I just have to tell it like it is. They don't want to hear this. Oh man, I'm just, man, it just is what it is. Yeah, look here, it ain't no coincidence that 35 million people in the last 2 days have been on Club Shay Shay. Some of these motherfuckers didn't know it was a Club Shay Shay. Who the fuck is Shay Shay? Yeah. They didn't know it was Shannon Sharp, a Hall of Fame tight end from the NFL who talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's no views that he ever had on this show. Now his show cracking now. People be on it. But I'm just saying, like, this more views, you know what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence. There's no goddamn coincidence. You understand what I'm saying? People gotta understand. I got you. It's three forms of power that exist. One is brute force. I'm gonna beat your ass because I want to do it. I'm gonna take your shit. His other kinds of power is I got this money or I got this incentive, and if you do this for me, you will get this. And the other form of power is what? Psychological power. A lot of people doing shit and they don't even know they're doing it for the reason that the person that got the psychological power have over them is the reason they doing it. The reason we believe the cult of personality is it's a reason for that. See what I'm saying? It's a culture, historical culture and complex that we have, right? But when we understand certain values and principles, we understand not to get sucked into that, right? It's certain things that we should be focusing on. People talked about defunding the police, 3-4 years ago when it first came up. What happened to that? You should be at the level where you're talking about community control of public safety. Fuck defund the police, you know why? Because community control over public safety would say how much they get. There ain't gonna be no need for no goddamn police association because the community control over the damn public safety gonna say who get the money. And if we in Dallas, Oak Cliff gonna get all the goddamn attention. If we in New York, Harlem gonna get all the goddamn attention. If we in Northern California, Oakland gonna get all the attention that we need. These are the kind of things we need to be focusing on. And I ain't saying we don't need to have our downtime. Everything in existence must have a balance. But in the balance, you must not be confused on what's going on. And we see one goddamn interview with somebody talking, and we think we know what's going on. But guess what? History teaches us we don't know what's going on. That's why we sucked in into the first place.
Man, y'all hear this, man?
Preach, brother. Preach.
Hey, I'm gonna spray him down here. I'm gonna spray him down to say he done dropped his phone.
The doors of the church is open.
Yeah, look. Who we got that jumped on, man? Who we got that just jumped on, man?
Oh, we got the undisputed Zahir.
Who we got that jumped on, man?
To meet this brother, I heard a lot about him.
Who we got that jumped on?
The Lord show.
That was like one of them Georgia cats, man. That's what they look at.
Who we got that jumped on? Zahir. As I always say, I don't want to mess your name up. Because I know at some point I'm going to mess your name up. Could you introduce yourself, Zahir? Make sure we say it right with respect.
Oh, tell Cat Williams to say it. They'll know his name.
Zahir Oladuni Mobalaji Toure, creator of the Maguzi philosophy, right?
That's right. All power.
Yeah. What
Okay.
you got to add on this, brother? What you got to add on this?
Man, it's gonna be hard to add on what this brother saying. He's on fire, man. He on point. I was listening. I actually was hearing it on my way back to the house. I was like, I gotta jump in on this because he talking the real, and this subject too is so important. That's another reason why I wanted to jump on here, man, because he was talking about that white power capitalist power structure, and how it influences the minds of our people. That's a real big problem because what ends up happening is the entertainment industry is not ours, and we don't have that ownership. And when they have ownership, they project
Right.
the image of black folks that
Right.
they're entertained by. So that step and
Right.
fetch it, that old minstrel shows that he was talking about, that's how white folks were seeing us. And that's how they get
Mm-hmm.
entertained by those stereotypes, that projects their power because they have ownership even over their images over ourselves, just like
Mm-hmm.
how they do with that Christian church and they have power over that white Jesus. It's the same kind of
Right.
concept. And it flows to nowadays too, where the modern minstrel show to me is the gangster rap. Because
Yeah.
white folks are very entertained by those images too, and those are the images that are projected out there. And just like the brother was saying, how did old Step and Fetch It get millions of dollars back then in the 30s? And it's the same way that these folks get the millions of dollars in the rap game now. It's you have to portray that image that white folks are highly entertained by. And
Right.
white folks are not, and it's capitalism too, right? They want to sell that, and that's the best image
Mm-hmm.
that they can sell of our people. But
Right.
what ends up happening is when we don't come together and form our own culture, our own revolutionary culture that comes with its own virtues and values, we end up getting caught up in this too. We don't create that
Mm-hmm.
counterculture. And even some
Right.
people who call themselves a part of the culture, some of our people who practice the spirituality, so on and so forth, they get caught up in the mess because they have
Mm-hmm.
they haven't connected that some of the revolutionary politics. They haven't connected the need to say we need to separate from these people altogether and create our own culture that says this is what we value. So if we value integrity, we value freedom, right? If we value ownership and freedom, that means we may not have that $1 million. This revolutionary lifestyle, our African cultural lifestyle, you may not be Oprah, or you may not
Right.
be the famous rapper on the TV. You may not get millions of dollars. You may not get that, but that's because we don't value that.
Right.
That's one of the biggest reasons why I think we keep failing is because we haven't created this counterculture that has a different set of values. And what I mean by values is just what the things that we hold in most high regard and esteem. And so what ends up happening is when we don't create that counterculture, right? We still carry over some of those same things. So when we look at the TV and we see those stars, some people still want to be stars. And I remember Huey Newton saying like this was one of the
Yeah.
biggest problems and the Black Panther Party was the fact that people wanted to be these Hollywood actors, and when people started giving them all these props and praises, and they go on these talk
Mm-hmm.
shows, I mean, it gets straight to their head, and they want to become a celebrity. But where does this really come from? And part of the historical analysis is that, when Black folks was on this plantation and getting out, when we're talking about Reconstruction era and these things, some of the only people who were able to be successful out of the Black world was musicians, right? And this is a big problem because you look at this part of time, they were the only ones who were able to get to this status within America. And then it felt great to hear maybe one or two of them actually speak up for issues. And so I
Right.
think that this created a certain dynamic where Black folks were really dependent or have this attachment to entertainers as leaders because they were the only ones who were able to get a certain status where the whole Black nation, so to speak, could hear them. You see what I'm saying? But then he just laid it out for all of us. They get in because the white power structure lets them in. So they almost compromise as soon as they get to that position. And that creates that psychological dependency that we still see to this day. And that's that's such a big issue. And I think that what ends up happening is that that mentality of wanting to get to that status, that mentality of wanting to be the number one star, plagues the conscious community and the revolutionary community. And people start to expect that from you. You know, people want to push you out there. People want to make, everybody wants to be where I hate to say it, where Umar is at now, right? Because I mean, he's got the most followers on Instagram.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Getting,
Yeah.
you know, I hate to say it, he's getting donations and people get paid to do lectures. They get paid to go
Right.
around here and go on lecture tours. I mean, this is the money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a part of this dynamic that's created that I think adds to this type of celebrity worship that we're talking about in this cult of personality. And I think it's also connected to how Black people developed in the church and how the preachers were probably the very first stars, right? Out of everybody. You know, the preachers were the
Right.
ones who really you know, stood out as a leader in the community, the ones that are saying we're
Yeah.
going to tell everybody what they need to think and how they need to move. I mean, they were the first head honchos. And so what I see is a direct connection between these different leaders who come up and how we develop as a people here in America. So when we're talking about this cult of personality, I think it's something that is deeply connected to our subconscious and has been connected to our historical situation. And the only way we can get past this is if we very intentionally create these counter cultures and these different values that we can hold on to and say, no, we're going to try to change discourse. You know, because he's right. I've been doing, he's done political education longer than I have, but I've done my own political education too. And, you know, it gets on my nerves too. Sometimes I get fed up with people because I'm like, damn, I've been telling y'all all about Palestine, but then when it comes on the news or something, somebody famous, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, this is the biggest thing. But five or
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago, we were telling y'all in this class, you know, and it's sort of like we just don't value the people who are putting in the work right there in our
Yeah.
communities, you know,
Right.
and we waiting for a savior. We waiting for people
Yep.
to come. We waiting for somebody to drop out the sky and come in and save us, or some celebrity, you know. And so I just wanted to drop in and say, oh, that. And the actual part I heard you speaking on was the breakdown of the Black family, which I thought was very important because the Black family is a social institution, and when we break down that social institution, uh, 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 any kind of influence can happen, right? Because there's no safeguarding, there's no reinforcement of who we are. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's a big problem because
Right.
when there's not a narrative to say this is who we are as Black, as African people, we actually let the white hegemony tell us through mass media, because that's one of the primary functions of socialization is media. You know,
Right.
I tell you a quick story. When I moved up to Washington, I used to live up there in Washington in the Oregon area. And they were different. The Black folks were kind of different than Black folks in the South. And I felt like the Black folks up there, they didn't really know themselves. And it was like they were pretending to be rappers. You know, it was like they didn't really know what Black was. And I started to see that. And I felt like a lot of Black people were mimicking music videos, or okay, you know, Black folks supposed to walk and talk like this, so this is how I'm gonna walk and talk. And
Mm.
that's just some of the ideas that and even in a class perspective, right? I think when certain Black kids who haven't grown up, let's say in the most impoverished of areas, have an identity issue because, again, when we don't have a counterculture to say Black meaning African, meaning revolutionary, what ends up happening is they might confuse Blackness with just poverty, right? They might confuse Blackness with just a status or that we're
Mm-hmm.
presently at, and not prior before our status now where we can
Right.
help. So yeah, I think all that's important.
It definitely is, because other than that, you're living off somebody else's premise. That's what people don't understand. You live your whole life on somebody else's premise. You know, if nobody else, if you're not setting your own intentions, then somebody else don't set them for you.
Right.
Right on.
Brother
Right.
Zaire,
What's up?
would you consider yourself more of a liberal or conservative man?
Whew. So I'll say it like this, right? I'm gonna be socially conservative, especially as a new practitioner of African spirituality. Politically, I'd have to be a little bit more on the liberal side, just so we could secure certain freedoms for our people. So, but I consider freedom not just a freedom from, like, oh, I have a freedom from a social standard, but a kind of freedom to be self-disciplined, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Right on.
Man, where's the rest of this? Where's the rest of this now?
Gotcha. Okay. Any closing thoughts? I know we've been on here a little bit of time. I know y'all gave some. First of all, I wasn't expecting any of this to happen. I was expecting.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah. I want to say. Let me just say this though. I appreciate y'all because y'all always take y'all time out, and I've asked y'all a number of different times to come on and help me get the information out. Like it's only so much information that I can give out. Y'all basically y'all basically are expressing what y'all deal with, you know what I mean, and what y'all know. Now I thought Country Black was gonna expound on what he just said, but he just gave a question.
No,
I,
I'm
I'm
just listening
not,
to listen to the brother.
no. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna go be straightforward. Zahir, he Country Black. I call him CBG. I call him CBG just for the sake of him being
Okay.
on.
Hey, this time we supposed to do for another show, or you just want to add to it because you got it.
Okay. He
Yo,
said,
you be, are
okay,
you being
guys.
a bot? Are you being a bot? Or
Okay,
are you thinking?
okay, right on. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone right now.
No, I would like to hear what's up.
It's gonna
Uh-huh.
be a lot.
So let me say this. Let me say it.
It,
So
I think you do need to do another session.
I know, but I'm gonna say this. And then I'm gonna leave it at that. If we can just leave it at that. So here's the thing about y'all, right? Each one of y'all come on different times. We have conversations independently, but at one time or another, y'all all look at what each other may say at one or different points in time, and so obviously we all black men here, and obviously we're not gonna agree on every single thing. So I appreciate, yeah, good. Hey, I appreciate you all for even taking y'all time out to come on here, Zahir, CBG especially. CBG, if I may say, Zahir, CBG is a Egungun priest. Uh, if I may
Yeah.
say, he's an Egungun priest, and he's in the area, in our area, close over here. So I know him. He's a good guy. You know, we disagree oftentimes on political matters, but culturally, we agree. So I'll just leave it kind of at that. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Me and CBG are going live again tomorrow. He gonna discuss some very controversial matters, y'all. So hey, just to let y'all know, we're gonna discuss some very controversial matters. CBG said he got some things to discuss to get off his chest.
Now,
If y'all
if you
go ahead.
now you need Zaire to come on there. That's what
Nah,
come on.
nah.
Oh,
If
oh,
Zahir,
I'm just
if
I
Zahir
bring
want,
my brothers up, man. Let my brothers come and stand with me or against me. Whatever they I just want to see my brothers stand.
well, I'm just saying we going
no,
live again tomorrow.
I was
Go ahead.
saying that because he was about to ask him a question. I was about to say if he asked this, I gotta
Well,
go.
look,
But yeah.
go ahead and ask. Anybody could ask questions. Anybody could ask
No,
questions.
no, no, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. I know what you know. I know what you was about to ask.
No, I wasn't about to ask nothing. I was just gonna say me and him going live tomorrow, and I'm just gonna try to be
Oh, you
quiet.
sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try to be quiet, and I'm gonna let CBG do his thing. You know what
Man,
I'm saying?
you got a lit program, brother.
Nah, we development. Thanks to y'all three, y'all have the little bit that we do move, we got it because of y'all three basically. So I'm
Brother
gonna leave.
Zaire, next time I have a fire ritual, though, brother, you more than welcome to come.
One priest to another. We gonna stand in solidarity. That's what I like.
All right. Well, peace, power, prosperity. I didn't. I didn't get no house rules. I'm getting house rules. If you could like, share, subscribe. If you could like, share, subscribe. Every time Zahir comes on, we get 3 or 4 subscribers. So I'm I'm just gonna tell you. Every time Zahir come on here, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's the guy right there.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah, he fire. Oh yeah, Zahir fire every time. Hey,
We
Zahir,
need, hey, we need,
Zahir, you the number one guy right now. You know what I'm saying? You the number
Told you
one
I
yeah.
know
guy
he
right
was
now.
the one the Lord chose.
Yeah, yeah, Zahir the number one guy, man. Number one guy. So I
For sure.
appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good night. Me and CBG gonna be back tomorrow. I'm just gonna say it up front. I'm just gonna be quiet, and me and CBG gonna lay it out for us, and we gonna share it, and we gonna talk about it. Uh,
All right.
so I look forward to that happening.
Okay. Most definitely.
Peace.
All right, peace, power, and prosperity.
All right.